Hey everyone. So with this week's chapter of One Piece, I'm sure most of us were expecting an all-out epic fight between Sabo and Fujitora. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get a full episode dedicated to this fight that we were all expecting, but we did get about half a chapter dedicated to it. So, better than nothing. And it really didn't disappoint for the most part because I thought the chapter as a whole was actually really enjoyable. So let's jump right into it. The chapter continued right where it left off. Sabo confronting Fujitora and the Marines. Um, so I believe it was either Maynard or Bastille. I think it was Bastille. The Vice Admiral stood up to Sabo, and Sabo absolutely destroyed him, like one-shot him severely. I mean, he Sabo did, I think it was either like a dragon claw or a grip. He latched his hand onto, I'm pretty sure it's Bastille's helmet, and in just a quick, he pretty much made a reference. He made a reference to cracking an egg, and he said this will be as easy as cracking an egg. So we're learning that Sabo is actually a little more twisted than we thought. You know, he might be a protagonist, but Sabo has a little bit of a sick mind in terms of just, violence. So he crushed, I keep saying Maynard or Bastille's skull, and you just saw blood dripping down. So pretty violent, pretty much one shot of Vice Admiral, insane power. And threw Fujitora by surprise. What does Fujitora do? He sends down yet another meteor right at Sabo, and I'm starting to question Fujitora's power now as well, because he's starting to seem like a one-trick pony here. I mean, we've only seen him do one thing, and that's just shooting meteors down at people. Other than his first appearance, and where when he was in the casino area, gambling, he did something a little different with the floor and gravity. But for the most part, he's just been shooting down meteors. So he shoots down another meteor aimed at Sabo. But he forgets that Flamingo has the whole birdcage set up. So what happens? The meteor hits the birdcage. My first reaction when this happened was that it was going to have no effect, that it wasn't going to go through the birdcage. But the meteor actually broke up into several parts, went through the birdcage, and caused a little bit more destruction than Fujitora had hoped. So Fujitora kind of screwed up there. Not the smartest decision by him, and I think he realized that afterward. The meteor broke into pieces and just caused some havoc on Dressrosa, and really did nothing to Sabo. So it was kind of a pointless effort there. So that was it for that. The one other really interesting thing about the fight, don't mind that, that's just my cat out of control. So the other interesting thing about the fight, or just that scene in general, was we got a little bit of glimpse of or not a glimpse, but we got a little bit of taste that Sabo does regret not being at Marineford to save Ace. I think it was 2 or 3 panels, where Fujitora kind of questions Sabo. Who is Sabo? Sabo says he's brothers with Luffy and Ace, which, that's gonna make all their bounties skyrocket now that Fujitora is aware that they're all related in some way. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. Anyways, he referenced that there was a reference that he wasn't able to be there for Ace, and he was really upset about it. And it was just a kind of a weird panel, but he really legitimately seemed very upset about that whole thing. And hopefully we'll learn a lot more about why Sabo wasn't at Marineford. I mean, clearly it was a huge event. Sabo's closest friend was killed, as you all know. And where the hell was Sabo? And how does Luffy feel about this? I mean, I can honestly see down the road of One Piece, maybe the end of this arc or future arc. Um, I can see, I don't want to say a fight between Sabo or Luffy, maybe emotional fight. I can see some anger between the two. You know, like Luffy might be questioning him. You know, where the hell were you? Why weren't you there to help me? Help Ace. So we'll see where that goes. Anyways, other than the Sabo stuff in this chapter, we got more Luffy and Law. Still for like the 5th episode in a row on the goddamn bowl, heading towards Flamingo. Funk Brothers set them up. I am almost positive that the Funk Brothers either had something going with Flamingo or I don't know what happened. They said, "Oh, here's a shortcut to get to Flamingo the fastest," or whatever. They got so Luffy gets a call on his Denden Mushi. It's Robin along with Bartholomew and Rebecca. They have the keys to the Sea Prism handcuffs that Law has on. Law just wants to get out of them. Luffy doesn't care. He just wants to go to Flamingo. So Robin tells him to rendezvous, to head up to the top, and that they'll give him the keys to unlock Law. Anyways, Funk Brothers kind of tell Luffy, "Here's a shortcut to get there," and what happens? They go into this like weird dark well area, and they run into Flamingo, and that is where the chapter leaves off. They're in a really bad spot. They're at the I think it's towards the bottom of a well. Don't know how. I'm having a hard time picturing the environment they're in. But Law and Luffy are at the bottom, and Flamingo's at the top looking down. And they just look to be in a really bad position as the chapter leaves off. Now, I have my questions and doubts whether it's actually Flamingo or if it's another one of his clones. I'm inclined to believe it's another clone. I don't know why, just a feeling. So we'll see. But looks like they were set up. They countered Flamingo or his clone, whoever. So it looks like there might be a mini fight there. Not sure where that'll go. But overall, no more setup. At least it looks like all the goddamn setup in this arc is done, or at least close to done. I'm honestly ready for this arc to start closing itself down. Now we got a lot of stuff left. We obviously have the whole Flamingo battle, which you know there's going to be a battle, whether it's Law and Luffy versus Flamingo or just Luffy versus Flamingo. There's going to be a last fight. We still have the Zoro and Pika stuff that's unresolved. And we have the backstory of Law. And I think, and Frankie in the factory. So overall, I think there's probably going to be maybe, if I had to guess, 15 chapters left, 15 to 20 chapters left. Still a lot, but I feel like I want the story, I want them to start going back towards the main story now and just get back on track. I've enjoyed this arc. It hasn't been the greatest arc in my opinion, but it's been enjoyable. And I'm going completely off topic. This was originally a chapter review, and now I feel like it's an arc review. But hey, it is what it is. I think they're going to be wrapping up, or getting, at least it looks like they're finally moving things along. I expect this arc to end in epic, dramatic fashion, I'm hoping. But sidetracked, back to the chapter. Overall, pretty good chapter. Not an amazing chapter, but it was pretty good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10, and we'll see what happens next time. I'm assuming they're just going to continue with the Law and Luffy thing with Flamingo. So 8 out of 10, good chapter. Comment below, subscribe, like the video. Let me know what you thought of this latest chapter of One Piece. And I'll see you guys later.